Welcome to Mickey Sightings on this, not Monday night, but Tuesday night. Tuesday news and views.
Tuesday, strange
It's
magic.
Welcome in, everybody. Good to see you tonight. Apologize for us not making our stream last night. We had some things come up. We're getting ready to start school and had to get Becca registered for her virtual school, and it went a little bit later than we thought. So anyway, so we moved everything to tonight, but we're so glad you're here. Nature Cat, good to see you tonight. Good to have you in the house and Disney Addicted and Suburban Florida Outdoors. Good evening to you too. Have you been fishing and shrimping lately? That's what I got to know. Disney Addicted got the notification. Awesome. Hey. That always seems to be the problem, is getting notifications sometimes.
Yeah.
But tonight we're going to talk about, of course, our trip, our quick rundown last week. And we kind of, on the way home, we were kind of thinking, okay, what were we always, when we're coming home, we say, what was your favorite thing about the trip?
Yep. Rate the trip.
Rate the trip.
And what was your favorite thing, and what was your thing you wish could have been better?
Yeah.
And your least favorite thing.
Yeah. Oftentimes you don't get into least favorite thing, especially with Disney, but
we stay positive.
We stay pretty positive. And but tonight we want
to.
Hey Frankie, and Frankie, I've got your stuff to mail. As a matter of fact, I can show you the packet right now. I've got a little stack right over here that's got to get to the mailbox, the post office box, during their magic open hours.
Yes, during the post office's magic open hours.
She says, Susie, I like your hat.
Why, thank you. It is the one of the things that I got this trip. I am not normally a hat person, but Sean has the Disney Dad hat that Garrett sent him from Monarch Moments out in California, and we saw the Disney Mom's hat, and I was like, well, I'll try it because it's really nice. It's a not a woven back, and it was white, and it's fitted, and also I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I actually did not wear a single pair of ears that I took down. I wore my hat because it was much cooler and very bright.
Suburban said they were fishing, shrimping, and scalloping. Oh wow! Oh, that sounds so good. And doing some hunting too. Cool.
Well, thanks, Jeff. Sean likes me in hats. I don't usually wear them though.
Oh, and Jeffrey is at their beach house. Awesome. That's cool.
I want to go to the beach.
Nature Cat says,
I spent 2 days in training.
Talk next time you go live. Yeah, we can always talk about bowling. That'll be fun. We'll have to go to the bowling alley sometime in the near future once everything opens back up around here and do a stream from the bowling alley. That'd be a lot of fun. You guys can see just how badly I bowl.
Well, we actually have, Sean and I have our bowling balls.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
This guy actually beat me.
Barely.
And he was literally at about 100 points.
Barely.
He was over 100. I'm here in the 90s.
We
rejoice when we break 100.
I think the last time I bowled, we used the bumpers.
We did.
Suburban says, you look super cute in your hat.
Why, thank you.
And Nature Cat says, I'm wearing my Mickey Mouse shirt I got at Disney World. That is awesome.
Yay.
Cool. That is awesome.
So we just a quick thing about the trip. We went down last Tuesday, and we spent 4 days at Disney. We stayed at Pop Century Resort and stayed in a preferred room, which means that it's closer to the pool and the main shopping, the shops and the bus stop and the front desk area there.
The main hall.
The
Classic Hall.
Classic Hall. Thank you. Classic Hall.
As like Rebecca said, we were in the 70s building, which was nice. It was really right there. And
luckily we're on the first floor.
Yep. We had requested a first floor. It was very nice. Pop Century
has new modernized ones.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're nice.
They've refurbished most or all of the rooms at Pop Century.
Before we get into our full discussion, I just want to acknowledge Suburban said that her old home at Murrells Inlet got hammered by the storm, flooded, and piers damaged, and some destroyed. So We hate to hear that. That's not good.
It's horrible.
That's
Yeah.
not good.
That's bad. The storm was definitely bad enough. It could have been worse, but it was definitely bad enough.
And
Yeah,
of
we didn't
course-
get any rain. We didn't get rain.
Yeah, we didn't get a drop. All it
or a
did
gust
was
of wind.
suck the life out of our air.
It
Yes.
did. It
was
has made it so
humid.
hot and humid. Yeah.
Yes.
It
They
has been
made me
crazy.
go outside for 15 minutes.
We made
The
her go
shock.
outside.
And the horror.
Such bad parents. You will go outside. No.
Anybody else remember when Mom opened the door, threw you outside, and said, "I will call you for dinner"?
That's right.
And that was at like after lunch.
my
Yeah,
granny
but that
would
was
say, "All right,
before
you've been under my
global
feet long
warming."
enough. Go
Yep.
to the yard."
Yeah, but that was before global warming.
Well, whatever.
Whatever.
So we did. We stayed at the Pop
So we
Century.
stayed at Pop Century, and we stayed 4 days. We did all 4 parks, one each day. The resort guests have reservation. A block of the reservations are reserved for resort guests, so we did not have
Welcome
to
in,
use,
Adventures of Gonzo. Welcome in
um,
the house tonight.
we didn't have to use any of our annual pass 3 days that you can do reservations for. Those were all 4 resort block days. So, and actually, we were only going for 3, and then we ended up deciding to stay for 4.
Yeah.
And I had no problem on Tuesday when we had extended. I had no problem getting Hollywood Studios for Friday,
And we got a decent rate.
and we got a pretty good rate. Yeah.
Kind of gave us a little bit of an incentive rate to stay that extra day. But yeah, so kind of going back to kind of the beginning of it, I want to explain our title.
Yeah, strange magic.
Strange Magic. We're gonna tell you the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yes.
That's what I like to say. We're always very positive about Disney. Of course, Disney is amazing. No matter how you slice or dice it, you always come out ahead. But we love Disney. But I do believe that, you know, if you're planning a trip or you're going to be going in the near future, there's some things that you definitely need to know. Some things that we really thought about and looked at and said, you know, we want our friends and our YouTube family to know these things because
They're not bad.
They're not bad,
They're
but
just
I think
strange.
Right,
And
they're
a
strange.
little-
There's definitely some
not the way that you're
strange
used to things being.
They're
Disney
not
magic.
your usual Disney.
Right.
Right.
So that's why we do not recommend, if this is your first or even second time, do not come
Do
because
not.
Disney is still kind of getting the hang of the whole entire COVID-19 thing. So do not, like, book a train.
Yes, we got it.
Something
We
good
Yeah.
understand, but it really is. There's, you know, I watch a lot of vloggers. We watch a lot of vloggers. I think everybody does a great job in vlogging and showing the parks. And I think a lot of them get so used to knowing kind of what is open and what's available that when they're vlogging, they kind of go immediately to those areas.
Yeah.
So you lose sight of the fact that there is a lot that really
That's
still is not normal by
Right.
any stretch of the imagination.
And like we said, I mean, hey, it's Disney.
Yeah.
and you know, it's definitely good to be back and to be able to go again. But there is a little bit there is a noticeable difference, and some of it is just a little strange.
So we thought we would take it by park.
Yes.
And when we got there on Tuesday, we were, of course, a little later in getting there. We left here early in the morning, but, you know, we still weren't there at gate opening, but we got there to Epcot,
Right.
which opens the latest. It
Mhm.
opens at 11, and we got there around noon. Around
Yeah.
12 or 12:30, so we weren't that late. And, you know, one of the big things that everybody's talking about right now is the crowd size. Now, the crowd size is amazing.
Yes.
But I told Susie, I said, you know, I'm so careful not to celebrate that too much because because there's a global pandemic.
Yes.
You know, I've heard people say it hasn't been like this in 20 years. Well, no, because there wasn't a global pandemic 20 years ago.
Nope.
You know, so I think we had to keep it in perspective too, is that while it was a lot of fun to be there with the lower crowds, we wanted to make sure we also acknowledge the fact that it's like that because there's something very, very difficult going on globally.
Yes.
And so I don't think we need to downplay it. I don't should downplay that. You know, I don't. So we were like, okay, but let's look at this from a completely different perspective. Let's look at it from each park, and what did we see that was, Disney, and what did we see that was like, wow, that is definitely different. Can I talk about the COVID stuff real quick?
Yes.
As far as COVID is concerned, now, if you guys were in when we were planning the trip to go, we said we'd like to go, but we waited until the last possible minute to decide to go, because we were trying to watch our friends out there vlogging, talking to some of them. What are you seeing? How are things? We've been so careful to be, social distancing and everything, that we didn't want to just run down there just because Disney was open. We wanted to make sure that we were continuing, as I say around here, our due diligence.
Yes.
And one of the deal makers or breakers was staying on property. If we couldn't stay on property, we weren't going. That was bottom line, because we're just not ready to stay in a hotel. And we couldn't find an Airbnb that was within our budget or anything like that. So,
and we knew that with the precautions that Disney is taking in the parks,
right,
we knew that they would be equally as diligent at the resorts. And
hey,
so,
Amy, welcome in.
So we found a resort, and not all of the resorts are open. So
Hey, Magic for Four.
We found one of the resorts. We found Pop Century that was within our budget, within our summer travel budget.
Right. Yeah, because we hadn't really gone anywhere.
Right.
So it was within our budget. So we said, okay, Disney has done all these things. We got multiple confirmations of that. So we said, okay, let's go. So, that was one of the main reasons why we went down. And Disney is doing a phenomenal job with dealing with this pandemic. I think all three of us could say that emphatically. I was so impressed throughout our trip of the kids and how they kept their masks on. All 4 parks, because we were able to go to all 4 parks. And it was every day. Or Rebecca, as a kid, can tell you.
It's like every kid I saw, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm with you. It's hot. But even the little itty bitties kept them on. We were in the land waiting up for my mom to get out of the restroom, and there's this little 3-year-old girl who was I don't know, even maybe 2.
Maybe even 2. Yeah, she was little.
And she was playing with her toys on the ground, and she kept her mask on.
Yeah. We saw an infant in a mask and was not pulling the mask off. Well, not an infant, but
it was like 1-year-old.
Okay, a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
But not pulling the mask off. So we were really impressed with that. And, the temperature checks, which actually, while we were there, they actually implemented the taking temperature checks when you go into a sit-down restaurant.
Yes.
So if you are going to a sit-down restaurant, they will also take your temperature before you go in.
Magic for Four, can we come back?
What?
They're at Disney. They
are
now.
there. We are there now.
That is
Magic
awesome.
for Four. Which park are you in? That is awesome. That is awesome.
So yes, they implemented. We went to the Wave, and they checked our temp before we went in. But temperature checks are completely hands-free, touch-free. It's the point and shoot gun.
Gun.
Every time they point it at me, I close my eyes, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm closing my eyes. I don't know. I'm closing my eyes.
Too many gangsta movies.
No, I think I was like,
rub it in,
worried
Amanda. Rub it in.
that there would be like a red laser light thing. I don't know. But it was super fast.
It's a medical gun.
I don't think we waited more than 1 minute in line to get our temperature checked.
Yeah.
And this was at Park Open.
Yeah.
This
It was
at,
right in.
I mean,
Yeah. And so what we said, we take it park by park, each day, each park. That way we kind of remember everything, hopefully. We did it, what was magical and what was not so magical. And but the magical part was, in light of everything, Disney is doing a fantastic job. And also, if there are people that were trying to circumvent, which very little of it happened, the Incredible crew was right there, and they said, please move your mask up, or please go sit down with your drink.
With your drink.
And every 15 minutes, there's a reminder, across the parks, the voice from above,
But oddly enough, it wasn't annoying.
No.
I don't know who, what the voice is, or whether it's just that they're timing it a little far, but it wasn't like, there that is again.
Yeah, that's right.
It wasn't, to me, I didn't find it annoying. It was just a reminder, friendly reminder. And even by the fourth day, it was just kind of like, oh, there's the announcement again.
There it is. Amanda said they're just leaving the Contemporary. We did the monorail resort hopping tonight. No parks today. Okay. Kind of took a break from, which it rained down in Orlando today. Didn't rain a drop here. We're going to have to get out and do a rain dance around here, I guess. Because we've got to have some rain. But so that was great how they're handling it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going down there, don't worry about that.
Yeah, getting into the park, not a problem.
Nope.
And I actually even saw I think it was Epcot, there was a group that evidently didn't have a park reservation for that day. and they the cast members were very kind and very gently took them over to guest services and were explaining on the way about park reservation system and the park reservations. I personally got the feeling like the dad knew that they were just kind of like trying this. The mom of the group, or the woman of the group, was going, oh really, but the dad was kind of like, yeah, I know, okay.
Totally agree with Frankie. She says a rainy day at Disney is better than a non-rainy day at home.
That's right. That is absolutely right. So even with people who were trying to get in that didn't have park reservations for the day, they were being redirected. And I was glad to see that, not because it's like, I got a park reservation, but those people who are trying to maybe circumvent or trying to circumvent.
Oh yeah,
and get
I'm sure they are.
And argue their way in and that kind of thing. Disney's putting these limitations on numbers for our safety.
Yep.
And I appreciated that.
Yeah. And when we got to Epcot, it was very open. We walked right on to Spaceship Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You guys did Soarin' twice.
Yes.
Back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Land was a walk-on.
It said a 20-minute wait, and we walked the queue straight to the concourse, and we waited for the little pre-show and walked right on. And they are definitely social distancing and seating, and their plexiglass.
It was hilarious because in order for the plexiglass, because those ride vehicles are very tall, because they sit tall people, so they had to use a little booster seat to sit the plexiglass on.
It was funny. You looked over, there was like a little Walmart booster seat, gray Walmart booster seat, and the plexiglass was bolted to it. And even at that, there were only 2 parties per row, and you were at opposite ends of the seating. So, I mean, well distanced.
Yeah. And we walked on to the Three Caballeros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fiesta. We walked onto that. Of course,
it
Jose was
hilarious.
On vacation.
Jose was on vacation.
He was on vacation.
Jose is back. Jose is back from his vacation.
That was hilarious, though, because you would hear Jose's voice, but you didn't see him.
Jose. But the curtain was moving.
Yeah.
The curtain behind. The curtain was moving.
Yeah. And of course, all the Flower Garden
backstage
merchandise they have left, which, if you look at our top shelf, we managed to get. I got the flower pot that I was after, and our orange mug, and that. So the Flower and Garden stuff is still.
Mickey Funko Pop over there.
Mickey Funko
Well,
Pop.
the Spike the Bee.
And
We Spike the Bee.
Spike the Bee.
And we got the gondola.
But we're going to do a
We'll do a little
haul video some other time.
Days.
But tonight we wanted to talk more about our experience, because I know some of you may be planning to go, or just kind of give you guys our experience, our perspective.
Now, I will say, the front.
Hey, Dish, our dream.
The front
Hey, guys.
of Epcot, when you walk in, it's like wow, this is cool. And then you hit the walls.
Literally.
And it's wall and wall and wall and wall. And they have it very well. There's good signage on them. But it looks like you're going through a labyrinth. To go to Test Track and Mission Space, you go down this wall and then you split off to the left or split off to the right. If you do, the land, you're off this side to the left, and the seas is off to the right, and you go down this little path, little almost maze feeling thing, but then it opens up pretty well.
Yeah, and it's Walcott for sure.
Yes.
One of the interesting things too was, of course, some of the shops are not open yet.
Yes.
And being all America cast members, so even in the countries, it's all Americans.
Right.
Our favorite little bakery there in France was not open, which was disappointing. I went to get fish and chips over at UK, and it closes early. Park closed at 9. I think it closed at 7:30. So I got over there and it was empty.
As did our Norway bakery.
Norway bakery.
I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get any. I'm not gonna get this. I'm gonna get my Sven's apple cheesecake.
I'm gonna get my school bread. And then we go there, it's closed.
And it was closed.
So I said, okay, well, I'll walk down and I'll get my fish and chips. It was closed.
It was closed.
So we didn't eat any of the only we had the Mongolian beef with the bao bun and the Mongolian beef. We had that.
Was good.
The bao bun, and that was really good. That was all we had. We never made it over to the festival center in a little pavilion there.
I do want to try.
It started raining, and so
that frozen nitro pop.
Nitro pop. It started raining a little bit. It kind of rained off and on while we were at Epcot, which was not that big of a deal. I mean, we had our umbrellas, and so it was good.
Yeah,
and then
it was good. It was hot.
Yes.
Now this is Florida. It is August now, but it was the end of July, so you go expecting it to be hot.
Yes.
And just a quick tip for anybody who does not drink coffee, like yours truly. I know. But if you don't drink coffee and you don't drink all the iced frappuccino mocha things, then Starbucks has a blended strawberry lemonade, which is like a strawberry lemonade
Starbucks
iced.
is not an official sponsor of
Starbucks officially not a sponsor of Mickey Sightings. Joffrey's has the same kind of thing. Joffrey's also an officially not a sponsor of Mickey Sightings. But the blended strawberry lemonade
Coffee's life. I agree, Frankie.
with the sugar cane syrup, the cane syrup in it, is so good, and it's refreshing, and it's so just my favorite, my absolute favorite.
So Epcot went good.
Oh,
it went
speaking
well.
of Joffrey's, though, the frozen, frozen happy snowman.
No, do you want to build a
snowman? No, it was a happy snowman.
Yeah, I thought it was. Do you want to build
the
a
happy
snowman?
snowman?
The
happy snowman. Oh, the happy snowman.
Oh, it is amazing.
It is really good.
It's like lemonade with
blueberry,
raspberry, or
no, it's like
or
it was
something.
some
blue
blue
raspberry or something.
It was like some blue syrup.
Yeah, we put a picture of it on Instagram.
It was delicious. I mean, I did.
Oh, you did. I thought I
So
did.
as far as strange magic at Epcot, I think that while the cast members were very helpful and very happy and really, I mean, we've seen some cast members kind of grumpy and complaining and stuff before COVID. We didn't see any of that this trip.
No.
Everybody was happy to be
Welcomed
there
us into the shops, told us to, thank you when we left. It was, one of the things kind of starting with Epcot and further was we really miss pin trading.
Yes.
Because we love pin trading because that's how so many times we engage conversation. And that was, we pin traded, I think, 2 or 3 pins, but it's just not the same, right now. That was kind of strange magic.
You kind of lose the flavor of the countries.
Yeah. No pun intended.
Not having the people from that country.
Yeah.
And
or the sounds.
The sounds.
There was the shows are missing.
Yes.
The sounds are missing, and that was
Garrett.
Across the park. That was hey Garrett. That was across the parks.
Yes.
Was the silence. I don't know if any of you guys have watched on Disney Plus, but they have these shorts called Zenimation. And Zenimation. And what it is they remove like the music and the voices and everything. So you just hear like the first layer of sound.
It's
so it's
almost
like
like
water or
what is
people
that?
walking on the sidewalk.
ASMR.
ASMR.
Yeah, it's like ASMR.
It's like Disney ASMR.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this was like. It was like you could. I'll fast forward a little bit, but it's like when we were at Magic Kingdom, we were under the umbrellas in front of the Plaza restaurant. The steamboat blows its horn, and it sounded like it was, well, it's
not
whistle.
a horn.
It's whistle, and it sounded like they were at the Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
I mean, it was so loud because the noise.
It
that
was loud
vibe
enough
isn't there.
that Sean was. We were talking, and when the steam whistle sounded, we couldn't hear what the other person was saying, and we're like,
it was so loud.
Was that the steamboat? Because usually it
You never
sounds
hear
like
it.
it's over in the distance.
Oh, it does.
But yeah, it was, and Epcot was like that too. It was
It's
just-
like you kind of miss the general buzz,
Mhm.
but the only thing that you don't miss is
the
the
jostling and
Yes.
being run over by buggies and
Screaming
scooters
people.
and screaming children.
So that's
and-
what made it really peaceful. It's kind of like being Disney, like when it's closed, and
Yeah,
the noise
kinda-
starts kind of diminishing a little bit. So it was, being at Epcot, it was, part of the strange magic is not having the nighttime fireworks. Not
Yes.
having the show
the-
to finish off the evening.
There's
You just
nothing to
kinda
stay
walk
around
out.
for.
No.
It's kind of like, are you done? Is there anything else you want to ride? Anything else you want to see? All right, let's go.
And the bad part is there's nowhere to go.
Yes.
Because normally we would go to, say, Disney Springs, but Disney Springs closes at 10. So there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, 10.
So-
10 o'clock for night owls. 10 o'clock. I mean, we barely usually
So we wandered
hit the
back to
hotel
the
room.
we wandered
until
back to the
midnight.
resort and just kind
Of
of
course, the pool at the resort closed at 9.
Yeah.
So
So we just kind of hung out. We met a neat family from Texas, from
Yeah.
Houston, Texas. We got to talk to them
Yeah.
for a long time. They're new. As a matter of fact, they have a channel. You want to go check them out. They're called Deep in the Heart of Dixie. So check
is
out
it Dixie or Disney?
No,
Disney. I meant
Disney.
I said Dixie. I meant
Deep
Disney.
in the Heart of Disney.
I meant to say
And
Disney.
their brand new channel.
His name is
brand
James. Yep. And
So go check them out.
go check
Deep
them out.
They're
in the
such
heart
a
of Disney.
wonderful family.
Yep. Deep in the Heart of Disney.
And actually, they opened up the wishable pins.
Yep, the wishful pins. They got all of them. They bought several boxes and ended up getting all of them.
Yep.
And so, which is
Full
so
packs.
Frankie, they got every
They got every
Every pin.
wishable pin.
yeah. So they had a few duplicates. So
Yeah.
Frankie would appreciate that.
So, if you like
That's why you
staying
party in
for
your resort room.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
you got a
know.
little resort room, big parties.
Well, and the resort room that we had, we requested the queen and the Murphy bed queen. So, once you pull that Murphy bed down, there just is
You
not a
keep
whole
that bad boy
lot of
down.
room. And
Which is also kind of interesting at the resort. We were with us
Expedition
being
ride.
there 3 nights. Hey, Greg, with us being there for 3 nights, we never got maid service.
no mousekeeping.
Mousekeeping.
Yeah. They
we,
did come in and change towels.
Right. They changed
But that was
towels
it.
out one time, but that was it.
But they
Which
didn't
was-
do the bed sheets.
And
They
then
didn't even
they
make
kept
that.
shorting us towels, so we had to keep every day. We had to ask for more towels. So it was kind of weird.
It was.
That was not
Yeah,
so
but-
magical.
It
But we
was
did
kind
have a very magical
Very,
experience with a
very
cast
magical.
member at the resort.
Yes.
Yes.
You guys can tell that story because you guys
Okay.
were more involved with that than me.
Well, to kind of set the scene, we had come down. We went straight on to we went and checked in, but then we just went straight on to Epcot because we wanted to get as many hours in at Epcot as we could. And so after Epcot closed, then we went back to the resort to then come and unload everything and get to our room. So we did not knowing the resort at all and not ever having stayed there.
And it's dark.
And it's dark. And so I'm looking on the map and I'm like, okay, well, this is the parking lot it says is closest to where our room is. And it looks like you just kind of walk up here. And Sean's like, I'll go scout it out. I'll go find our room, make sure the magic bands unlock it, and then I'll come
never
back.
found that room. Oh,
He's
my
gone.
land.
And gone.
Like the never found that room, y'all.
And gone. Meanwhile,
Hey, two real geeks.
golf
Hey,
cart
Danny, good to
comes
see you.
up, golf cart leaves, another golf cart comes, another golf cart leaves, and so then
I was
just
gone that long, y'all.
and I'm just like circling and hanging out in the luggage place and circling again.
I
and
just palleted down in the back seat. I
Becca's
grabbed my Dole Whip
exhausted.
pillow. I'm like, ah.
And so about the third pass for this golf cart, the golf cart pulls up to the window, and I'm thinking, oh, this is security. Okay, roll down the window, and it's one of the mousekeepers, and Magda, and she said, "Can I help you? Are you okay?" And I said, "Well, yes. My husband went to go find our room, and the resort has swallowed him, and he hasn't come back yet."
About that time, I called and said I finally found it.
And I said, "Oh, we've got to get our luggage to the room." And she goes, "Oh, just my cart is empty. I'll help you get your luggage to your room." And I'm like, "Really?" We have like a lot of luggage. There are 3 people,
We
but a lot
packed
of
for
luggage.
like a month.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
we look like Miss Piggy.
I mean, we're this and that, this, and
It's bad.
one suitcase a piece, but bags and stuff. So she said,
Snack
yes,
bag.
yes, So we get all the luggage out, and she's like helping me get the luggage out and putting it on her cart, and she's like, "You can't ride the cart with me, but I'll go slow. You can walk behind it." And I mean, we piled this cart up, and
Most of it was my stuffed animals.
yeah. 10 stuffed animals, 3 blankets, 2 pillows.
Hey, my 2 biggest ones were in my luggage.
Nothing gets shots. Whatever.
So
Maybe a ball python.
it's just like it was
so
magical for me because we were tired, we were hot. All we wanted was to get in the room and get a shower. I'm envisioning like trip after trip after trip because Sean had also said that he could not find a single luggage cart anywhere.
Oh.
So
like, wow.
We're like, oh my
this is gonna be
gosh,
a long
it's going to be a long night.
And
then
whenever
here comes Magda, and I was sitting in the driver's seat.
She's from Egypt.
Yes.
She's from Egypt.
She's the only one who works at Pop Century from Egypt.
Hey, Shelly Starwalker.
Hey, Shelly.
I was sitting in the front seat.
Thank you.
And just before Magda had driven up, and right before Sean had called, and I just prayed. I said, "Dear, God, please just send help because
Mama starts praying, y'all.
I'm tired. I just want to get to the room. I am ready just to be in a shower and just go to bed." And up drove Magda. And it was just like, wow, thank you, Lord. Seconds later.
She was awesome. She even got us a microwave. This is kind of funny because I said, "Oh, I brought popcorn. We don't have a microwave." She says, "Call the front. They'll have it waiting and I'll go pick it up." So I called the front and they said, "No, we don't have microwaves available for Pop Century." And I went, "Oh, okay." About 5 minutes later, here comes Magna with a microwave.
Yeah, and she helped us load
the praying mama. That's
luggage
exactly
cart.
right.
She helped us. She drove us right around to where our room was. She helped us unload everything off the cart.
She was
got
amazing.
Stuff into the room, and I'm just like, wow, that was such a magical thing, a magical moment because she's a housekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
That's not
mousekeeper.
That's not her job.
Since
That's
I got
not
corrected.
That's not in her regular vein of work. And she could have driven right by us and it would have been perfectly okay.
Oh yeah.
And yet she took the time to stop and
she talked to us for a long time. I mean,
and she even once we got everything loaded, she said, "Oh, your daughter can stay with me. We'll stay right here and you go park the car." And so it was like, "Oh, this is great." And we got everything into the
yes, we
car.
did, Silver Girl. We definitely gave her multiple cast member compliments.
Yes.
We told the front desk and we filled out the little form.
I would say, and so one of the things that I asked
for something to calm us down. Yes, that's so true.
And she brought us the microwave, and it was just like, wow, that was just such a great way to start off our trip. And we thanked her profusely.
Oh yes.
And then said, is there anything that, who do we tell about this?
Right.
And she said, well, you can tell the front desk if you want. And it wasn't like, oh, go tell the front desk, make sure they know I'm doing a good job. It was just, if you want, you can go tell the front desk. She was
tremendous.
I didn't know, because we don't stay at the resorts very often, but if you request a form, you can fill out and tell. There's a block this big, and I filled the whole thing. Imagine that. But you can tell about a magical experience with a magical cast member, and they get recognized for that.
Yeah.
And it was a great way to start the trip out.
Yeah, that was cool. So that's how we started with Epcot, ended Epcot, and then the next day, we were at Magic Kingdom. And we were actually at Magic Kingdom less probably than the other parks.
Yeah.
We spent less time at Magic Kingdom, oddly enough.
Because it closed early.
It closed early, and we got up a little late.
Well, we got up a little late. It closed early, and we had dinner reservations.
Mm-hmm.
So between those things, the Magic Kingdom day was a little bit shorter. But we got right in.
Yeah.
We got pictures of basically, it was like Main Street was
It's
virtually empty.
The temperature checks, oh my gosh. It's like it was in and out. There was no line.
Nope.
And honestly, I kind of
even
like
bag check was like that.
And honestly,
Yeah.
I kind of like the Magic Band scanners, how they covered the fingerprint, because that
I did not miss the biometric reader.
I didn't miss that
because
at all.
Becca and I usually have such issues with that biometric reader for some reason.
I don't know how many times I have flashed
must think
blue.
And our fingerprints must be flagged somewhere.
Magic Kingdom was the most noticeably empty of all the parks. We walked in underneath the train station, and I took a picture, and the entire hub was just empty.
Oh yeah.
There was nobody at the hub.
And going back to Epcot, in the China Pavilion, that was where we got the Bayo bun. Oh my goodness. Like Temple of Prayers?
Temple of Heaven.
The Temple of Heaven.
Temple of Heaven.
He took the most tremendous picture.
There's no one.
No one there. Zero. And we had to wait for a group to kind of move through, but in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Zero people.
It was so cool. Now, Two-Row Geek says, but the big question, did you ride Splash Mountain? And if you did you wear a bathing suit? We did not ride Splash Mountain. Flash Mountain. It was an hour long. The wait for it was an hour long.
The wait was long, and
the gift shop was closed.
Yes.
Yeah, we went to the gift shop just
Briar
to
Patch.
see
Yep.
if there was any merch of any kind. Nope, the shop was closed, so that didn't happen. So
hey, Ray J, Mike Wheeler, welcome
Hey, Ray J, hey, Mike.
Oh, hey, Mike.
I didn't see you guys come in because I had to scroll down so that I could catch up with chat here.
You scrolled up.
So COVID, the numbers, the attendance caps.
Yeah, Garrett, it was really weird.
It makes it strangely quiet, and that little buzzing excitement that's kind of usually crackling,
especially Magic Kingdom,
crackling through the air.
You all know
down
what I
Main
mean.
Street.
It
just
Magic Kingdom has its own
was very low key and
very low key. The music was very loud.
Yes,
because there was nothing to really dampen the music.
Right.
It's like in Animal Kingdom, you could hear both music tracks playing simultaneously. You could hear the country, the regional music you were in, and the entrance loop to Animal Kingdom playing simultaneously. That's how quiet it was.
We heard
how loud it were.
The drums, and then we heard the flutes.
Yeah, because there's no
Discovery
ambient music or ambient noise. It's just that music.
Right.
It's like you hear Discovery Island, and then you hear Africa put them together. And it sounds like an animal.
Well, we didn't see any of the cavalcades at Epcot. What about Epcot? We didn't see any there.
Yeah, no.
We did see the cavalcades at Magic Kingdom.
But they only come through, as best we can tell, once a day.
Once? Because we only
That's it.
saw them one time.
So there are multiple cavalcades,
Right.
but they only travel like once a day. There's one time that the princesses
Hey,
of
Kelsey.
Merida come through. Then the next cavalcade is maybe Tinkerbell and another.
It is old
I can't
school.
remember. I can't remember who it was, but
No, it's just Tinkerbell.
it was just Tinkerbell on the treasure
and then
chest,
you have
and then
Gaston followed by all the fantasy
the
characters.
fantasy character. So,
Or
but you
fantasy
only
land.
see that one time, and so if you miss that particular cavalcade,
And trust
you're
me, you
probably
won't.
not going to see it.
Yeah, at Animal Kingdom, Turo Geek says you don't see it in Animal Kingdom.
Mm-mm.
We only saw the one boat
One boat.
with
And there's
Goofy.
Goofy, Minnie, and Mickey.
No, Chip and Dale.
now
and
I
the
did-
dinosaur costumes.
I did see one with one of the
Someone with the boat?
the pilot from
Oh, yeah,
DuckTales,
yeah, yeah.
the Quacker.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I didn't see
So-
that one. But now, the really cool thing
Landpad.
about
Yeah.
now Magic Kingdom, we went on Haunted Mansion twice.
Was
Yes,
Back
like
to
back to back.
Yeah.
Carousel of
That's
Progress,
not
we missed that.
Yep.
We
completely.
never made it to Tomorrowland.
People Mover was down.
Yeah, we never made it to Tomorrowland.
Nope.
We did Peter Pan. We did Small
Yeah.
World.
Oh, we walked on to Peter Pan.
Yeah, walked on.
I mean,
Yeah.
imagine that. Like
Yeah.
it was
That was
supposed
crazy.
to be a 20-minute wait, and by the time that we walked the queue line and then through the nursery all the way up, we walked straight onto the belt, straight onto the boat. On the Peter Pan ride.
Bye,
vehicle.
Shelley.
Insane.
Have fun building your computer. Thank you for coming in.
And
And it was raining.
it was
Magic Kingdom at that point, we were all in
it was
umbrellas and it was raining, and
Yeah,
so
but
people were starting to leave out. But
also though, we rode Haunted Mansion twice in a row.
Yeah.
But I do have to say the thing that kind of made me a little bit sad was the fact that the little show, like the stretching room was already stretched.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
You
you
just walked
walked
right
through the
through.
stretching
straight
room.
through
That's
the
right.
stretching room.
Which is
That's
kind of
so
disappointing for
sad.
some. There was a family behind us, and the guy, I guess the other people had never been to Disney, or maybe at least had never been on Haunted Mansion, and he's building up the stretching room and telling them the difference between the stretching room at Disney World, stretching room at Disneyland.
Uh-huh.
And the whole time I'm hearing this, I'm wanting to
thinking,
say, there's no stretching room in this one.
not-
and
it's already
so
stretched.
when they went through, he was kind of like, oh, this is
you
different.
usually stop here. So because of the low crowds, you could pretty much walk on. Rebecca and I rode Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and it was
And-
supposed to be a 20-minute wait, and we were there in
My
maybe
stomach-
10.
because I was already overheated, so my
A little.
stomach was hurting. So going up and down, up and down, up and down.
She was fine.
I was almost ready
I was
to
the one
kiss
that
the
was.
earth.
On our first anniversary, we rode Haunted Mansion 10 times in a row.
Oh
and
wow!
didn't have to get off and could rode on it more. Oh wow, that is awesome.
Wow!
And you're right, Frankie. It's crazy how popular Peter Pan is.
Yes.
It's such a quick ride.
I
But
loved it though.
we
It's
have to do it.
flying. It's like you're flying.
We have to do it every
That
time.
is so cool.
But we never made it to Tomorrowland.
No,
And Danny said
There's nothing
he's
there.
heard that it's
Well,
that the People Mover's down for a part, and it probably is.
probably.
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't ride Space Mountain. Mine Train was a posted 30-minute wait. I did not ride Mine Train simply because we were doing
was
family
raining.
things.
It was
oh,
raining.
that's right.
It
And
was
and
down.
then when we
Yeah.
were back by it,
When
it
we
was
went over
raining
by it,
and it was down. So, we did Tiki Room
Yeah.
and
We did Tiki Room.
Jungle Cruise.
You had a
We
Dole Whip?
waited. Yep, we waited like maybe
20 minutes.
20 minutes
About
for
20
Jungle
minutes for
Cruise.
Jungle Cruise. Yeah.
And
And of course, that's you have
you have
about
sectioned out.
You have about 4
parts of the
parties.
boat.
Yeah,
Yep.
4 parties. Same way, kind of like with Tiki Room. You go in and they have areas where you can sit, where you can't sit. So the social distancing in those theater venues. We were in Hall of Presidents. There were 27 people in there.
Yes.
That's it. There were only 27 people in the Hall of Presidents. So you can imagine that massive auditorium, and there's only 27 people in it. It was almost like having it to
And yet-
yourself.
At the end of it, everybody clapped.
Everybody clap. Absolutely. Yep.
One of the other things that was noticeably different about the crowds were the lack of non-Americans, of foreigners.
Yeah.
There wasn't I don't know that I even saw anybody. I heard some people that sounded like maybe they weren't from America, but honestly,
I heard a few Spanish people.
But honestly,
Who spoke Spanish.
That was a definitely different kind of crowd makeup.
Mm-hmm. Well, Two Year Old Geek said that when they did it was extra magic hours and daylight savings. Yeah, that's one of the things about being in the resort. With the whole COVID thing going on, there are no extra magic hours either.
And that's disappointing.
It is.
I mean, I understand why.
We did enjoy our 30% annual pass holder discount, though. I must tell you,
the resort
we enjoyed it a little too much.
The resorts are only 25% occupancy.
Yeah.
So you can kind of understand. Extra magic hours for 25% occupancy, you probably couldn't even pay the salaries of the cast members who would be there for the handful that would go.
Which you guys, I guess you saw the quarterly earnings report today that the parks and services and merchandising lost $2 billion. But according to Chapek, the crowds are lower than they expected. But it's interesting. He said that the revenue is exceeding costs. And then he also said that the Walt Disney World reports strong per capita guest spending during the reopening. Chapek sees greater value in regular visitors than in annual pass holders, which I thought was a real interesting statement.
Interesting statement.
Yeah, very interesting.
Now, the per capita, the Johnson family helped.
Yes, we did. We enjoyed it. Well, two things worked against us for us who like to buy stuff. One, the 30% discount, and then all the 2020 merchandise is buy one, get one free.
Yes.
I have never seen a buy one, get one.
That's actually what Miss Magda told us.
A buy one, get one free at Walt Disney World. Ever.
Never have I seen that.
So, and Susie's donning her 2020 shirt there.
One of them. Because I got another one free.
Which this is one of the new kind of retro shirts that they have out. And I like that.
And
I have an Alana.
Yep.
Danny said, but do you really need extra magic hours now? The only thing that I would say yes to that is that it would give you an hour or two extra in the park. Because it's not that it's hard to get everything done or to ride everything. No. I think I saw the other day that Tanya, that crazy Disney lady, rode every single ride in Magic Kingdom.
Well, while we were there.
In one day.
She was doing it while we were there.
Right.
Yeah.
So she rode everything in one day. But, but I don't know. It's one of the perks of staying at the resort. It's kind of nice. But then again, extra magic hours are really so that you can ride what you want to ride.
Having the short operating hours in the parks is very noticeable.
Yes.
When you're leaving Magic Kingdom at 6 o'clock in the afternoon,
and it's like full daylight.
Yeah, you leave really Magic Kingdom at 6. You leave what? You leave. I'm sorry. You
7.
leave Animal Kingdom at 6.
6. Yeah.
You leave Magic Kingdom at 7. You leave Hollywood Studios at 8 and Epcot at 9. Disney Springs at 10. So when you're leaving that early, and they don't open early either.
Right.
It makes a big difference. Yeah.
Well, and I know that they don't want to encourage crowds gathering and things, but I wish I know they can't do the fireworks because of crowds gathering. And I completely respect that. But it's like there are not that many people that actually gather for things like the Kiss Goodnight or the projections on the Tree of Life, or they could do some kind of projection-y thing on Spaceship Earth, or
like
that kind of
the Happy New Year thing.
Yeah.
Or do I'm not sure what exactly they could do at Hollywood Studios, but I wish that they would think about doing something a little magical to kind of
end the day. Yeah, end the day.
And end the day. I love the Kiss Goodnight because it's sort of just it's like it puts a ribbon, a bow on the end of the day, and it's like, yes, it affirms I did have a magical day. I did make memories with my family or with my friends.
Right. Not having something to end a day is strange
it's
magic.
Kind of a letdown.
It is. You just basically leave the parks, right?
Because I really use the fireworks almost as a time, like, because usually happily ever after is around 9:30ish. So I'm like, okay, park's going to close soon. But not having that really makes me kind of go, what time is it again?
Danny, one of the lots of laughs, the perk for me staying there is to have the meal plan. That is also something they are not doing right now.
Meal plan.
There is no dining plan.
Yep, no dining plan at all.
We were going to, but we didn't. Which
when we priced it out, the dining plan just doesn't save us money.
No, it doesn't.
Because we actually don't eat. We don't eat that much. We spend money on merchandise than we do food. But yeah, there are no meal plans.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable future.
Right.
I mean, we don't know when meal plans are actually going to come back. And Mike makes a great point is that, of course, the revenue is going to surpass the cost because they nickel and dime you and they pay low. That's right. Mm-hmm. They do. That is an unfortunate reality, Mike, but you're right.
Yeah.
Hollywood Studios can project on the Chinese theater like they do for Star Wars.
I just wasn't sure that they would want, because that would still draw a crowd, although that is a really big space. So
I personally think it could be roped and be done.
Right.
I think you could rope it off and you could control it, but I don't know. They don't ask me. So
the food court at the resort closes at 10.
Yeah.
And you have to mobile order. You have to mobile order.
You have to mobile order at every
mobile ordering,
service.
You can't pay with your Magic Band. You have to have a credit card to mobile order. So that was not so magical.
Well, especially the first night because the system went down. So some people were able to get their credit cards processed. Though some others, including us, it wouldn't recognize the card number.
Yeah.
You type in the card number, and it would say invalid card file format. And so several people had that problem. So that was just really weird. That was
so they did make a workaround where they opened a cash register and you stood in line for what felt like forever. And at the resort too, you get your brown bag.
Yeah, Frankie, one of the things we talked about the other night was being able to do the late night thing. Yeah, it closes at 10. Mm-hmm. And really kind of one of the bizarre things, honestly, this is very unmagical, especially when you're considering you're staying at the resort.
Yeah.
Is that you have to stand outside in the foyer, you do your online order, you go up to the person at the entranceway into where you're eating and say, we're here, we have an online order. You show them where you've ordered it. They let you go in. And you get into these little, like a little line, and you go get your brown bag. And it is literally
a brown
shopping bag. Where did I put those? I was going to get one of them.
Not sure.
I was going to have one of them.
Here
I was going to say
it is. Careful. I'll hold the stuff.
It's like, couldn't you put like a Disney imprint or something on it? But
I mean, I know that would cost more, but heavenly days.
It's literally almost like a giant lunch bag with handles.
And mobile ordering, you don't get to go up to the counter and kind of look at this and look at that and look at this.
You don't go up to the counter at all.
You
walk up to the counter and you get your brown bag that has a sticker on it with your name. So you've got all these brown bags, and you look along the brown bags and you find the one that has your name on it.
So it's the brown bag with a tag. Bag with a tag.
Bag with a tag.
Now the cast members are very helpful, and they've got it set up to where you've got a table 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're doing their best, and there is no way to miss the social distancing markers. They are on the floor everywhere. So that was good.
The cups of the resorts, they have them, but I didn't see.
But a cast member has to fill it.
They've got the drink machines roped off basically with like tables, and there are cast members behind the table, and you give them your cup, and they fill it up for you.
Yeah.
Which is very good because that's
either that. I would say either that, or they just give you another cup of whatever it is, and you dump it into your cup.
I think they do that. I don't think they actually physically take your cup. That way, there's no exchange. Yeah, they just give you a cup, a disposable cup.
all of the cast members were in at least masks, if
Yep.
not masks and face shields.
Yep.
They are very cognizant of social distancing. A couple of them a little extreme. I approached a cast member to show them that the mobile order was not working, and I was from me to probably Sean at him, and I went to hold my phone out, and he took 2 steps back and went,
Hey, Danny.
"Oh, social distancing, I'm just protecting you." And I'm thinking, really? Okay. Maybe because I was aggressively approaching because I was hungry and tired and ready to order.
So the name of the game with Disney right now is It's Not What You're Used To.
Yes. It is
at all
not.
in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the gift shop at the resort, you walk in the one door and you have to walk out the back door around outside and then come back in the main entrance to the resort.
Yes.
So, and the gift shops are like that too. There's one way in, or one way out.
Yep.
They do that. Now, if there's only 2 or 3 people in a given shop, they will let you come in the exit. They did that for me one time because they said, okay, we're not at capacity, so you can come in this way. So, anywhere you're going, you don't just pop in a doorway. You got to find, like Pirates of the Caribbean. I never did find the entrance to the gift shop. I actually ended up going through the exit. There were 3 exits. I couldn't find an entrance. And so
the entrance
you kind of
was
have
the ride.
that. Well,
you should have just gone on the
just
ride.
on the ride. Which actually, it was 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Pirates of the Caribbean was 20 minutes that day. So it was, definitely.
It's Disney,
different.
but it is different than
Yeah.
you're used to. And
Strange magic.
everybody there is guests and cast members alike.
Easy.
Everybody that we encountered was very calm, was very patient, was not argumentative, was not belligerent. We did not see anybody, running and cutting people off and jumping lines and all that kind of thing. Cast members were very nice. The credit team was very well versed in how to gracefully remind people that they needed to put their mask on, or to social distance, or to be stationary while they were eating or drinking. Right. They were very gracious about it. And actually, for the most part, like, I saw the credit team approach 2 people in 4 days. Everybody else, we all had our masks. Yeah. We all did our thing. We all, I think it was like everybody understands that in order for you to be at Disney, here are the things that you must do. I mean, you have to put a little check in the check mark box.
I will go on Pirates, Danny. I have gone on Pirates. It does have a drop. I don't really like the drop, but I will go on Pirates.
Yeah, because that's why you don't really see me on it, because I never really like
drop.
I know, but I just really don't like that drop feeling, because
the drop in the dark.
Like something in my head, it just makes me go. Oh.
So on to day 3.
Yes.
Day 3, we are at Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
And Animal Kingdom again was so hot. I don't think I have ever been that hot at Disney ever. And especially Animal Kingdom. I know a lot of people talk about how Animal Kingdom is hot, but the Animal Kingdom for me is always is cooler.
It is.
But Rebecca almost got overheated at Animal Kingdom. And
we call it bear caught here.
Overheated.
Heat exhaustion is what it really is.
But the crowd was really low.
Yes.
You guys went on Flight of Passage twice.
Yes.
back to back.
The first time we walked straight, it said 20 minutes, and we walked straight up the queue. It took us longer to walk through the queue, which was actually our first time through the queue. Because we usually fast pass, and I'm like, wait, I want to take a little more time in the lab here. I've never seen this. And we walked straight on, and there we went. The second time we went,
Navi, the Avatar,
that was cool.
Oh my gosh, I just wanted to stay there.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, the second time we did.
So cool. Well, not for long.
The second time, it was a posted 25 minutes, and it was every second of that 25 minutes.
It was a little bit over that.
Although it was kind of cool
It's about
because
30.
we rode the second time with a family that had never ridden it before. And when they got off of it, they were just like blown away.
Dad was like, huh? Wait, what? Why are we here?
How did we get here?
Dope, man.
How did we get here? That was dope. Oh my gosh, where did the other people go? How did they, but there were other people. And, I mean, he was going on, and it was
That's
really
cool.
fun.
And we actually saw them off of the ride, and they were still talking about it.
I was rehydrating at Satuli's Canteen. I was not
having a wonderful conversation with Cicely.
I was going to say I had a great time talking to Cicely, the cast member. She and I talked for a long time.
Actually, we talked with her too,
and that you guys talked with her as well. And somebody just pulled something.
I did. That was
Mom. And wow, yeah, I was already starting to get overheated. And where it got hot was we were waiting in line for the Navi River journey. We waited over a half hour for the Navi River journey,
and it was underneath that canopy,
which is ridiculous. I don't know why that was taking that long, but they were only putting one party on a boat.
And
so that takes longer.
They stopped for cleaning.
It was too long.
Every now and then.
It was they got the plexiglass, everything up, so you're literally it's like you're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You get under the canopy finally, and you think, oh great, there'll be air, and there was like no air.
It was really
so hot.
Even with,
oh my gosh!
And there are only a few fans under there.
Yeah,
that's also the one that we usually fast pass. So we have never been in that queue.
I was like, I feel like I'm on another planet when I was in Pandora. That was crazy.
Really, and for family, you've never been on Flight Passage?
Oh wow, it's cool.
Oh, you need to go on it.
For those of you who haven't been to Florida or are not haven't been to Florida in the summer. One of the things about Florida heat is that as long as you can keep your core body temperature down, you're pretty good. Yeah. But once your core body temperature gets hot, then it's really hard to get that core temperature back down to where you're can bear the heat again.
I even told Susie and Becca this today, but I was over at the community where my mom lives today, and there was a fellow that works there, and he was walking out, and when he walked out, the heat hit him till he lost his breath. He couldn't breathe, and he was trying to regain his breath, and so he ended up being okay. But we got Gatorade in him, and I mean, he was just it's been horrible here, and wearing those face masks, doesn't help.
But it's necessary.
But so Animal Kingdom was pretty well uneventful. We did see the Goodyear blimp.
Yes,
we saw the Goodyear blimp while we were there.
I saw a teeny bit of one boat on the water that had Donald, Daisy, and Launchpad McQuack.
Yep.
And then we saw really good boat
Goofy,
that had
Chip and Dale. I actually got a picture on my Canon camera of them all looking at us.
Yeah, she did. She got a good picture of that.
And oddly enough, even though they are going fairly quickly, and they're on the water way pretty good distance away from you, they are very interactive and very pointing you out and waving and blowing kisses and
that's like
trying to interact with you as much as you can as they can.
It's like the Winnie the Pooh at Epcot. It's like he was hiding behind the tree. He was just waving, and he was going.
Well, we didn't see him.
Well, of course
not.
Yeah, we didn't see him. That was on
a vlog.
On a vlog.
Yeah.
But so Animal Kingdom was
pretty uneventful.
Just so dadgum hot.
Yes.
That was the only thing.
I didn't even ride Everest. It was just
too
far over.
We loved the safari, but most of the animals were in hiding. It was so hot.
The animals were like,
see ya.
It's too hot.
Peace out.
See ya.
So Animal Kingdom is wild because no pun intended, because you leave at 6 and it is like, okay, now what do we do?
Yeah.
And
by the time
Mr. Garrett,
which we had a dinner reservation, so we made our way over for dinner. So we were able to do that. And we ate at Yak and Yeti.
Yes.
Which was really good.
Yep. And if you're a Landry's card holder, then they still have the, Landry's just like always, where you go in, even though there weren't any reservations on the park system, went in, said we're Landry's, that said we'll have you seated in 5 to 10 minutes.
Within 10 minutes we had a seat.
And
And their menu's cut in half as well. And that's one of the things to make sure you realize when you go to the parks.
Yes.
Anywhere you eat, most of the menus from quick service all the way to sit down, the menus are about half to a quarter of what they were.
So like for instance, we like to go to the Wave, and we like to go to the Wave for lunch. And my favorite is the French dip.
So when you get there, they have you scan. This is at the Wave. They have you scan the menu.
And I love the French dip. It is just the best. And that is one of the things that is not currently offered on their menu.
Nope.
And so, you know, if you go and you're like, oh, we always go get this dish at this place, you'll want to go on the app and go look at the menu.
Check the menu.
Because they have their updated menus are on the app.
Right.
And if you don't see it on the menu on the app, they really don't have it, because I asked.
Now the only thing they do have at the Wave is they have the bacon and eggs. Now it is not on the menu, but they're offering it now for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But you have to know to ask for it.
You have to know to ask for it, and it depends on how
many grits they have
left after breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is amazing because it's candied pork, so
which is totally different.
It's pork belly.
Well, pork belly,
Yeah.
and it's candied. It is wonderful.
So good.
And I'm not the biggest pork fan, and yet I love it.
Best.
Yep.
And the cheese grits are made out of smoked cheese. It's just, it's so good.
And
it's got the perfect poached egg.
Yeah, and they cook everything at an exact temperature, at an exact time. It is literally a 5-star first class experience.
And all of the wait staff are in masks and face shields.
And we had great conversations with them too. I mean, one of the things I noticed throughout the whole trip is, you know, I had made this comment before, you know, I believe that Disney was getting way too reliant upon the college program. I love the college program. I'd love to see Rebecca go through the college program. I just think that the college program had gotten too big.
Yes.
I think it had become too much a part of Disney's workforce. And although we have had a lot of great experiences with kids, we've had some not so great magical experiences. And when people are more there, they're there for the duration.
Right.
They're not there for a 6 month
their
stint.
chosen career.
That is their job. That is their career. It makes a difference. And you could feel that difference. I will be honest with you. If there was one other major, to me and to us, we talked about it, very tangible aspect of this was having the cast members be, well, like Mike was, like Greg was, they're you know, on staff, not just there for a 6 month tour.
Yeah.
It made a big difference.
Well, and I think that as the college program expanded, the bigger the group, the more likely you are to have people in it that are just in it so that they can put Disney on their resume.
One more likely at 20. Yeah.
Not from the
let's go for 20.
You know, if the smaller the group, that's the group that is really committed, absolutely believes in the magic, absolutely wants to work for Disney. This has been their dream from the time they were little. The more you expand that, the more you get in those that are just looking for Disney to put on their resume. And not all of them. I mean, certainly not all of them, because we have had fantastic
the majority of
college kids. But we have also, but they are also the ones that we have heard towards the end of the evening be not quite so magical and a little more grousy and a lot more vocal about things and it just. And guys, if we're stalling, just refresh.
So far, it looks like
I have 1 or 2 spins on mine.
I think we have 20.
Okay.
I think we have 20 likes now. That's awesome. That is awesome.
You know, that was definitely a difference.
And Frankie, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a blend of that strange magic is not having the college kids there. But now there were some cast members that had college tags. So I don't know.
Found interesting because we know the college program is not
right. So
running.
I don't know if maybe they're being transitioned. We were talking about that. We just never thought to ask one of them.
Maybe like some of the American college program kids not the ones from like
But
international.
the whole college program
the whole
is
college
suspended
program
right now.
suspended. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, it could have been their graduation.
So then
year.
our last day was Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
We got to meet Michael Kay. Becca and I did.
Yes.
We
I
got to
saw
meet Michael
him. I
Kay.
didn't-
I actually took a selfie with him.
Yes, she did. That was pretty exciting. We met him in Starbucks.
Of course, I got all giggly and jiggly.
He was getting water as we were getting our. What were we getting that time?
I was getting the
Something
s'mores,
from Starbucks.
frappuccino,
It was not
Oh yeah, she had a
officially
s'mores
not a sponsor.
frappuccino. Yeah.
and you got
What did I get?
the
I didn't get the mango dragon fruit refresher. That's
yeah,
normally what I
it
get.
was the
Uh-huh.
What did I get?
not Fiji. I keep on.
Oh
saying
yeah,
Fiji,
that's
but
right. It was the
it was the
mango. No,
No,
not
it wasn't mango.
mango. Anyway, I don't remember. It was one of their new ones. It was really, really good.
We saw several vloggers there.
Yeah, we saw Tom from Walt
yeah.
Walt Disney World News Today.
And we saw Dad from Resort TV One.
Yep, we talked to Dad for a while. Yeah, and Jenna, we actually
we kind of walked by
we
and
we provided a seat for them because we were just leaving and we saw Dad and he was looking for a seat. So
and we've met them before.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and
we've
we've
met
seen
them.
Dad before, and
several
so
times.
Mom and
We
Dad.
could take.
So we talked to Dad for a little while,
Mom and
and
Dad.
Oh yeah.
then gave him our table.
So that was pretty cool. But guess what? The main thing was we all three went on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway
and
Rise of the Resistance.
That was awesome.
I
That was
love
awesome.
that. was
Runaway
cool.
Railway. Runaway Railway was so amazing,
We even
and-
have some merchandise here that we'll show off later.
and
Yeah.
I loved because on the second time, the ride just went down for a short second, and it did the whole entire "Please remain seated," and all of a sudden you hear, "Do you have to remain seated too?" And the voice says, "No, Mickey, I am just a voice." So Mickey says, "Oh, okay."
And that was really
And
good.
then-
And we rode it twice.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
we did ride it twice.
First time, amazing magic. I gotta
Yes.
tell you our amazing magic
Yes.
Disney magic story.
Incredible.
We're in line waiting, and the wait was what, half hour, 35 minutes.
Yep.
It
45.
was in the sun.
And it
We've
was
got our
hot.
umbrella just to
Yes.
kind of keep the heat off of. I mean, it was
I
horribly
have my
hot.
cool towel and I'm
Yep.
fanning
We
him.
got cool. They got cool towels. We got the umbrella
He looked like Cleopatra on the Nile.
on the Nile. These two cast members, girls, come up and they said, "Would you like to play some trivia?"
Allie and
Allie and what was her name?
Christina.
Christina.
Allie
Yes.
and Christina.
Christine.
Oh, Christine. Okay, Allie and Christine.
Shout
And-
out to Allie and Christine.
Shout out.
Awesome.
They were awesome.
Hard
And
magic.
so they come up and they start asking questions. They're like, okay, we've got different questions, and the answer to the question is the first letter of a word. So you've got to answer all the questions and then give whatever the word is that's spelled out.
And all of
And
the
then-
answers
Wow.
are in the handprints
Yes,
in front of the
in front of
Chinese theater. And they said, well, do you want to come over here so you kind of have a place where you can
Yeah.
look around? And at first I'm kind of like, I'm thinking, okay, well, we're going to lose our place in line, but it's okay because they're cast members. So we'll just, by the time our place gets back, we'll have played this fun little trivia game over here and pass the time a little bit. Yeah, sure. Why not? We're always game for something like that. So we go over.
And so we do the trivia, and
Don't tell them the word,
I'm not.
just in
And,
case.
and we won. We answered all of them and got the word. And they said, "Okay, here you go." And they took us to
And
the
your
front
prize is a free fast
of the
pass
fast pass.
into Mickey Minnie's
We
Runaway Railway.
literally walked through everything. We
Yeah.
were like, oh,
Our
look,
35-minute
the posters. Oh my
wait
gosh.
became a 5-minute wait,
Yes.
and
And
it was amazing.
In the queue, though, the posters where there used to be all the old movie posters in the Great Movie Ride, now there's like Mickey and the shorts. And I loved how they had them like they were.
But the fast pass line just skips all
Howdy
that.
from Texas. Hey,
No,
Hitchhiking
because
Bones.
there
Good to
was
see you
a-
guys tonight.
Oh, okay. There was a
But
view
I
out.
loved how they were all electronic, so they changed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
okay.
1 minute it could be Potato Land, the next it could be
But we were just like
Wonders of the Deep.
blown
It was
away.
amazing.
It was wild.
It was wild because
Loved
I mean,
that.
we love trivia anyway. So and then to just be picked out of this, what felt like a huge line
Well,
in the blazing hot sun, and
it was so hot.
they it was so much fun, and they were so nice.
So we got to
And
go
then
up for
they're
the
like,
first time.
You win a free fast pass to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We're like,
So we get off of it after the first time. It's like, oh my gosh,
It was
that
incredible.
And
was
it's
so
like-
much fun.
and
Yes.
the camera can't catch like the fall with the
and
waterfall. It was so cool because
there's
you
not, yeah,
didn't see anybody else. You were in your own little space,
right.
so it felt like it was just your family.
Well, you had your own train car, and so they were only putting 2 families per train. So that was,
that was
you almost had the
magical.
ride to
Yeah.
yourself in many ways, and we loved it. Toward the end of the day, we went back and did it a second time,
Yes.
and
Also,
it was like a
though,
10-minute wait.
the transition from the factory to the park,
Yes,
That
was
was
like-
really cool.
that was worth a million
Well,
bucks.
and the first
got
time
to
you
go on it.
see
It was so cool.
it, it's like there's so much to look at,
oh wow,
and so
and
many
it's
like
little
changing,
details.
and it's all changing. You're trying to you're following Mickey and Minnie through all of this, and
and
I
you just can't see it all.
because we were in the front on the first time, and what the camera doesn't catch is that whenever the smashing block comes down, you inch closer and closer and closer. So I'm here going,
she thinks she's getting ready to go off the edge.
Right. Which of course there is no drop, so
No, it's all visual, and it was
Yeah.
just crazy.
and it was just
Well, and then we watched
Really,
Vacation
really neat.
Fun, which
Yep.
is the short there in the Shorts
it
Theater.
was
Right.
hilarious.
Love Vacation
Loved
Fun.
that.
Well,
That
we
was
love all the
hilarious.
Mickey shorts anyway. We absolutely
Yeah.
we fell in love with them on our Disney cruise, and we
The
watched them
Wonders
almost.
of the Deep.
We watched them almost every night before
Yeah,
bed. We
it
watched
was-
a couple of them.
What Cuckoo Melody?
Yeah, and of course, then when we got there at opening, and as soon as 10 o'clock hit, of course, we tried to get our boarding pass.
Both of us were trying to get the boarding
So I
pass.
got,
boarding pass. So,
boarding pass 41.
yes.
Yeah, we got boarding route 41, and so around 3:30 we were
Uh-huh.
on Rise of
Rise of
Resistance.
Resistance.
Oh my
It
gosh!
was
Wow.
And I know
amazing.
this is our dream. You guys are in here and have talked about how awesome it is. That was an incredible
And
experience.
That was
it was so cool
Wow.
being in, like, you saw
and very
the two
intimidating at times.
going
Yes.
from you, and how the aircraft carrier rattled whenever you were trapped in the force field. It was amazing.
Mhm.
It's like 1 minute you're on Batu, the next you're in this huge hangar with the TIE fighter, and
the stormtroopers, and
oh my
And-
gosh,
and it's
it was
very-
crazy.
it's hard to see it in the POVs that you watch.
The videos don't do it
The-
justice.
The feeling and just the ambiance.
Yeah.
And we
The
had
immensity and enormity of it, and to see the stormtroopers and to see the little movements and the shifting around and it's really intimidating.
It is.
now, but we were in the cell that they put us in all by ourselves,
Yes.
so it's like
Yeah,
We were in everything by ourselves.
by ourselves.
Yeah.
Because
Which was cool.
there were only 6 people on the
Uh-huh.
actual transport vehicle, and then we were in our own cell,
and there was
Right.
nobody around us.
car, everything. Yeah. Oh,
And the
it was
special
so cool.
effects in it are
And seeing the AT-AT,
amazing to see.
it's like you could see the blast marks like on the
It
AT-AT.
was
Just
awesome.
the size of
going-
the AT-ATs.
And you come up to the AT-AT, and then the elevator, whew, it lifts you up.
Yeah, we were in
And then
the
you're
lifting
looking-
up side.
And then you're looking into where the driver, the pilots of the
Uh-huh.
AT-AT, and then you're back again, and
Yeah.
that it was
And then how
incredible.
it's like, and whenever it drops you into space,
That was
it
cool.
was so amazing. I felt like you were actually dropping into space, so it was like, woo! Because it was a vertical drop. So we're going, woo! Yeah! He was like, we're going through space, y'all!
It was awesome.
It
I
was really cool.
I really liked it. Becca was terrified going in. She was all
Butterflies.
butterflies.
and-
I don't know if I can do this, and we're like, we
You
can
can
do
do
it.
it.
We can do it. We can do it. We can do it.
You can do it one time. We can guarantee you
And
you're going to
it
do it one
was-
But
time.
we do recommend you not eat before it because both of our stomachs
Yeah.
turned whenever we
For
went
those
on
of
the
you
ups-
with weak stomachs.
Weak as water. Weak as water.
So we did Rise of the Resistance, and that was amazing.
It was.
belong.
And
Together.
we rode let's see. We rode.
You had thought about doing Slinky Dog.
Yeah, but I decided not to. It was just
We
hot.
did Alien Swirling Saucers.
Yes.
And we had this guy on the ride, and his cool towel blows off of his neck. Of course, it would go under
my
Susie's
car.
her saucer.
Well, I
Stops
didn't see
the
it.
whole ride.
I didn't see it. The cast member stops the ride. He gets down out of the little booth. He's approaching my car, and I'm thinking, what did I do? I'm thinking, I'm belted in. My bag is here beside me. I took my hat off.
Which that was a longer wait too.
Yes,
It was
that
like
was
20,
that was a
25
longer
minutes,
wait.
and it was
Yet
pretty
that
again,
sure
long.
was.
Cleopatra on the Nile.
So
But then he leans down and gets the cool towel, and I'm like, oh, whew, that's not mine.
So they
So-
shut the whole ride down. We have to get
Wait.
out of the saucers,
Yep.
go over to the other section of saucers, wait for it to finish, and then they loaded
And
us
then
up
the
over there.
people in front of us.
So we got like a ride and a half out of
And then
that.
the people in front of me and my dad, the wife she forgot her phone in her pass. So
Oh
So
yeah.
it was
cast
over-
members had
oh
to
my
go
Oh, her
find it.
glasses and her phone
Oh.
she
Glasses
left in the
and her
saucer,
phone.
and they couldn't find it.
It's like,
Oh.
really? I guess she put him down.
Dawn,
in the
you
little-
will love Rise of the Resistance.
Yes.
I'm telling you, you're going to love Mickey.
Yes.
I
I think of the two.
we like Mickey
they're
Minnie's
really
Runaway Railway.
hard to compare because they're very different. But I think of the two, our consensus was that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Loved Mickey and Minnie's
Yeah.
Runaway Railway.
It was
Yeah.
the best.
It was so much fun, and we of course went on. We did the
Muppet.
play
Toy Story Mania.
Toy Story Mania, and we saw Muppet 3D. We hadn't
Yes,
seen
we
Muppet
hadn't
3D
seen that in a while.
in years,
Oh.
Yeah.
and there were only like 10 people in there watching that.
I
So
swear, I think that the last time I saw it was 2016. I'm telling
it
you.
probably
Yeah,
was.
probably
It
was.
I
it's been a
forgot
while.
It's not one
everything.
that we usually
No,
go
It's
see.
been a
The
while.
only thing that I remembered from Muppet 3D is the two old men and all of the blast marks.
right. I remember you
Whatever.
saying, Dawn, that you had
Exploded.
gone before the Rise had opened, and you guys you're going to really enjoy it.
Yep.
You are, and you can watch all the videos you want. It
Just
just
the
doesn't-
feeling
it
in
doesn't do
is
it
just-
justice. You've got- you're same way with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. You are so wrapped around the experience that you can't catch that on a camera.
No.
And even though I think somebody tried to do a 360, no.
Well, and the other thing is I purposely did not watch any point of view videos of Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. I did not want to know what was coming up.
Mhm.
I didn't want to
She didn't.
to see it.
Becca
I didn't
watched
want
all
to
of
know
them.
it. I did watch one point of view video
It was
of Rise
the
of the Resistance
Well, and we
when it first opened.
and we finally talked her into, because they're not doing the pre-show at Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is where the little short starts, and that's where the
Mhm.
cool special effect happens. You just walk right into the ride now. So
Yeah.
um,
So I watched a little pre-show.
she did watch the pre-show on
Yeah.
a vlog, so that
Yeah.
she
So
knew
that I
it
knew
was
what was going on. But after that, I didn't want to see anything.
Oh, we love Muppets too. That I love that Muppets 3D. I hope never goes away. They could update it and change it, but as far as
Especially wherever it
Oh, I love
blasts
it.
out.
I love
Because
it.
all the people are dressed in like these striped polos.
Well, and you have this thought of,
the 80s.
so you have this thought of, oh, that was pre-COVID. Because, there are no faces. You kind of get
All
used
this
to
pre-COVID.
seeing everybody in a face mask. And,
It's like now you feel
You know.
very bad for the people from Asia who came over in the masks. We're like, we feel your pain now.
I know, right?
yes.
It's like, were
It
they
was hot,
wanting to
but
show?
not unbearable.
I don't know what we'll do. We'll do some trivia probably next time, Kelsey. It's about time to do some
Yeah.
trivia.
I guess they probably want us to respect them more.
Yeah.
Well, but so all in all, Hollywood Studios, there isn't, once you kind of do all of those kinds of things, there really isn't
You
a
wander
lot
out.
to do.
Yep,
So we actually we sat for quite a while.
we did.
You did not see,
It
there
was-
are
it was really hot,
relaxation
too.
zones in each park, but
There was one in Galaxy's Edge.
yeah, they're kind of few and far in between.
Yeah.
But as long as you are stationary, actively eating or drinking,
Sweetums is hosting
Then,
trivia. Oh, when you're doing trivia.
then you can be on a park bench with your blended strawberry lemonade, or you can.
Yeah,
you
we
can
were sitting there
be-
drinking our drink whenever Tom with Walt Disney World
Right.
News Today came wandering by with it. He was
So-
doing his vlog.
But it was hot, and
It
so
was.
after we finished drinking our drink, we went through
Because you
one
can take the
man's
mask
stream.
off as long as you're just sitting.
Yep. We went through one man's
Stationary.
stream and then saw that Mickey and Minnie's was back down to 35 minutes because most of the time it was at 45 or an hour.
Yeah.
And
Sure was. Hollywood Studios, guys, was very busy. It was busy
yeah.
and tight
yes.
all day. I know some people have said that, as it gets later, it thins out. We didn't experience that at Hollywood Studios at all. It was busy beginning and it was busy
at
when we
the
were all
end.
exiting. As a matter of fact,
Yep.
I've got a picture of us when we were just getting ready to leave the park, and it looked like a sea of people coming from the
So,
Chinese theater. It
if
was
you
it was
look-
it was almost uncomfortable at times at Hollywood Studios because it was tighter and it was tighter
and
in
it was
the
harder
gift
to
shops
social
too.
distance
But
Yeah,
at
it
the end
was.
of the
or
stream,
physical distance.
at the end of the stream, whenever you see the head cover, the cover for the live stream, because we put it up, look on the bottom right hand side. That's what he took.
So it's not that picture.
Oh,
That's not the
okay.
picture.
That's
No,
different.
because
it's a
he
different
took
picture.
a picture. Woo!
Now, one of the other
It's like a
things
sea
that
of people
was
coming to us.
that was kind of strange is that several of the shops are not open.
Yeah.
So, and because you have to have the reservation for the park to get in, if you're going to get something that is only at that park, or like
you
when
better
we
get
were
it.
at Magic Kingdom, we'd collect Jim Shore, and I knew that I wanted to get a Jim Shore, especially with our 30% off. So I was deciding between Jim Shore and a Brito, and I asked the cast member at Art of Disney. I said, we went to Epcot yesterday, so I know there's the Art of Disney store there, and of course the one here. I said, Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom, is there
Excuse
a
me,
shop
Colin.
where if I decide not to get it tonight, then I can get it tomorrow? I'm used to being able to just, I'm going to pop back over to Magic Kingdom and grab the Brito that I decided I wanted. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So there isn't one at Animal Kingdom,
Having
and
the park
there's
hopper option
one
being
at
gone.
Hollywood Studios, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it was open. Maybe it was, and I just didn't see
I
it.
don't
but
think it was open.
I don't think it was open. So,
and only one of the gift shops at Animal Kingdom was open, but they reopened the second one this past Sunday,
On the
so
second
those
tile.
are open. But
Of
a
course,
lot
my
of the
favorite
little-
shop.
a lot of the little side shops, like the little
Mhm.
small kiosks, they're not
yep,
open.
they're not
So,
open, and a lot of the
don't-
carts are not
I'll
open.
be honest with you.
And
If it's something you want to get, you better go ahead and get
go
it
ahead and get it,
because it's
because you may get to the next park that you're used to either being able to go
Mhm.
hop back over, or you're thinking, oh, well, they'll have it at this
That's
park.
why we were carrying
and then-
bags all day.
And then it's not there.
Well, I
And they
know-
also are not doing the bags to resorts. So if you buy something at Magic Kingdom,
Yep.
a lot of times you can just say, oh, well, can you send it to my resort? And they'll send it to the resort and you pick it up, I think, at the front desk. But that's not the case either. So you carry whatever you buy.
you sure do. And
So that's a little unmatchable.
not having the park hopper option is definitely unmatchable. I know several times. I know when we were talking with Greg in our vlogs, he would mention not being able to park hop, and that truly was.
Yeah.
And we didn't ride the Skyliner,
No.
even though we were right there at Pop Century. We didn't ride the
Well,
Skyliner.
Quick
for one
trivia
reason.
trivia tip for
Yeah.
the Pop Century. If the Skyliner is running, buses are not running to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So anybody staying at Pop Century who wants to go to Epcot or Hollywood Studios, you have to ride the Skyliner
Or drive your car.
or drive your
Drive
car.
our car.
And we were talking to
Basically, Frankie.
Yep, deep in the heart of Disney, and they said the Skyliner line in the morning is crazy.
And I'll tell you right now, I'll just go ahead and say it. If for any reason that Skyliner stopped with the kind of heat in Disney right now,
It would be bad.
it would be a crisis situation.
I think.
I
I
am
don't know about Well, if it's not for any
Yes,
real length
that's what I'm
of
talking
time.
about. A length of time.
I mean, if it was
No, I'm not
45
talking about
minutes to
like
an
5
hour,
minutes or something like that.
I
I'm
think it
talking
was
about
more
if
than
it-
45 minutes. I think you
If
would
he
really be.
is on
I
the
think-
Skyliner.
Yeah, well,
Okay, I know.
that's
It's
different.
all right.
It stops.
But you
in
also
the blink of an eye, he'll be
Well.
gulping down the
But
water
no, we
bottle.
you also carry water with you.
Yeah, we didn't do the Skyliner, and actually they didn't want to do it either because the wait was too long. And I'll tell you what, it was just too blooming hot. It was
Yes,
so
it was hot.
and there was no air moving, there was no breeze, there was nothing. So it was like, no. So we actually took the car to Hollywood Studios.
Yes, we did. Yep. Well, and we were checking out that day,
Well, we were checking out too,
and so
but we could have left the car even still
yeah.
and took the Skyliner. But
well, and it took it. And now loading the car, it took us 2 trips. All 3 of us.
Yeah,
two,
took 2
no.
trips.
Well, I made 2
Yeah,
trips, and y'all
yeah, I was
made
gonna say, you
one,
made
but
the
we
first
were
one.
but we were loaded the second
Yeah.
trip. You know, so
Yeah. We had all kinds of merch.
oh yeah, yeah, we enjoyed that 30%.
Yeah.
Just a little too much.
We helped the second quarter, third quarter, I guess
Yes.
it was.
I'm probably the one that helped it the most because I got not only a new lounge fly backpack, but I also got the Orangebird Spirit jersey.
That's right. And she'll be getting her Orange Bird ears because Miss
Yep.
Yami with Yami's Adventures picked them up
Picked
for
them
her
up
before
for
the
us.
COVID, but we weren't
Yep.
able to see Miss Tammy because of she's not been feeling well. And then we never saw Greg. Greg was
No.
going to try to meet us at Magic
Yep.
Kingdom. We never could work out the schedule, and we weren't at Magic Kingdom very long.
We-
It just
yeah,
didn't,
it was
we didn't,
not very long
yeah,
at Magic Kingdom for
it
us.
just kind of didn't work out. So that was weird. This
So-
is dream said, love the Skyliner. I would Spider-Man my way out of that thing if it stopped for too long. No kidding.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I mean, you guys have been down there lately. It's so hot. Wow,
Yeah.
that would be awful.
But
Man and child jump out of Skyliner over Hourglass Lake.
yeah,
There's a
not.
live video.
I don't think that's a realistic idea. That's the one good thing. If any place you want to maybe get stuck is over the lake, because
Yeah.
you could bail out.
Could bail out.
That's the only
Now,
place you could bail
Watch
out.
for the gators, but you can
Nah.
bail out.
Yeah, I was gonna
you can
say.
swim faster. Huh?
Yeah, they're more scared of me than I am of them, I guess.
Yeah, Greg, we'd love to see you next trip down too.
I know.
Not
I know.
sure when that'll be. So I think all in all, as a trip wrap,
No doubt there will be a yacht
rate-
waiting for us.
to rate the trip,
911. Yeah.
I would say on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the worst trip ever, I would never go back. Oh my gosh, you would have to pay me. And 10 being it was amazing and magical. Best trip ever. I think I would probably rate the trip about a 7. There were some very not magical parts to it. And these were things that
Wearing a mask.
that were both in Disney's control and not in Disney's control.
Right.
Aside from things like the weather and all, I don't count all that because
No, we never count weather.
you
Weather's
can't. I mean, it's
Central
going.
Florida weather is going
It's
to be what
going
it's
to
going
rain.
be.
It's going to be hot. It's summer. You know that.
Yeah.
But just different things, different parts and pieces. Shops not being open and fireworks and that kind of thing. I think I would rate it a 7.
It was
But
so
it
odd.
was definitely awesome to be back
Yeah.
home.
I have to say, one of the oddest things was not having a send off to go home with.
Yes.
We were at all 4 parks. None of them
Yeah.
had a night show. None of
Yeah.
them had something to say, thank you for being with us. Let's
See you
celebrate
next
and
time."
see you next time. None of that. And that is really missing. And I
Missing.
believe that they could
Yeah.
do something. I really think they could do something.
like that, even if it didn't have any kind of projection or anything, but just a wrap up message at the end of the day that played every, like the Kiss Goodnight plays every 15 minutes.
Hey, big Disney
I'm a
fan.
big Disney fan.
I think they could do something like that, and it leaves in your mind. You leave with this positive affirmation of it's been a great trip, and yes, there were things, but it was a great time with friends and memories.
Yeah.
And I think Disney really ought to do that, is to just have a wrap up message that comes across the PA system.
Yeah, it really. I mean, at
It'd be
Magic
easy to
Kingdom,
do.
for about 2 minutes, Mickey and Minnie got up and waved goodbye to
Yeah.
everybody, and then they left.
Mhm.
It's like before
And
we
that was
could
it.
get. I mean, we were in
The
front
end
of
of Main Street.
we were in front of Casey's, and they
Uh-huh.
were out on the railroad station. And before we could even get up to the
To the
Emporium,
Emporium.
they were already gone.
Right.
I mean, it was like, so we didn't even get that. Yeah, it was that is within Disney's control, and I think they should change that somehow.
Hitchhiking Bones, no fireworks and no kiss goodnight either. No.
No.
They encourage gathering of crowds, and therefore they don't do
Well,
them.
going back to what Dawn had said earlier, I would absolutely not recommend going if this is your first trip. No way, absolutely not. Nope. It is not the it is Disney, but it is not the Disney that we're used to. It is not.
Yes,
it not.
really isn't. So, what would you rate your trip?
I'd say an 8.5 because this was definitely a good, outstanding trip. The only thing that really bothered me was not having any cereal soon and
no characters, no character meet and greets.
That didn't really bother me at all.
Now, Our Dream said they had the Kiss Goodnight Magic Kingdom.
Oh,
we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Nope.
But also wearing the mask and not having that interaction with like the college students and the cast members alone, not being able to really interact. But I really miss though interacting with the college program because I ask questions like, what is it like? Because that's where I'm going, and well, you gotta have to find the details.
You gotta get the details.
Yeah.
And that is interesting. That Jeff and Angela, they had the Kiss Goodnight. Because
hey, Monarch moments. No, none of that, Garrett.
I'll kiss you goodnight, Sean, if that would make it.
No. 25 years that's been my job, and I'm keeping it.
That is weird. I mean, they said that they had Kiss Goodnight because we were wondering why they didn't do that.
We waited around.
Yeah, we waited for it because I'm like, it doesn't have to be nighttime.
No.
To have the Kiss Goodnight. And what are you doing? Stop messing with
this. Maybe Our Dream said maybe because it was the pass holder preview.
Maybe
because obviously we weren't there for pass holder preview.
No,
we were just there. But
wow.
I would have loved. I love Kiss Goodnight.
Tracy,
as much as I love the fireworks, I love Kiss Goodnight.
Dawn said Tracy Glenn calls it Disney Light.
Yes, very light.
Yeah, yeah. It is. I heard him say that, and I agree. Definitely Disney Light. I would not. And like I said, it's fun. That's why we call this Strange Magic. That wasn't like clickbait or anything. That was just the only way that we could kind of explain what it was like, because there were things that were very magical, and there were things that were not so very magical. Magical. So anyway, but you know,
so
I've always my rating is a 7. I think I go with a 7 too. One of the things like with Epcot, I always feel pushed out of Epcot anyway. I don't know why. I always feel like they're ready for you to get out and the shop's closed and you're done.
Well, that was our problem with the whole entire cookie around the world thing.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other issue.
Started.
But with the way it's done now, I feel like all 4 parks are like that. You're just pushed out. Okay, thank you for being with us for these 8 hours or whatever.
Right.
You're
Thanks
done.
for spending your money and being with us now. Goodbye.
It's just, and you know what? Any other place I would expect that, but I've come to expect that at Disney.
You've come to expect that wrap up, that send off. You come to expect that because it's
that would be a great song, wouldn't it, Jeff? Strange Magic. Yeah, you can tell the era, right?
It's there, and Disney, and that's something that sets Disney apart. Because just like when I was in high school, we would go to Kings Island in Ohio. And Kings Island, you rode your rides, you did your thing, and then you left. And you didn't expect anything. It was like, okay, we're done. Let's go. Our park's closing, so let's go. And everybody just kind of files out. But Disney, because they do wrap up, that's missing. It's an element that's missing. And I don't know. I think I've always thought that it was a very good move on Disney's part to send you away with a positive affirmation. And it's a genius way to send you off, because by the end of the day, you're hot, you're tired, the kids are tired, you're
sweaty.
Okay, Dawn, thank you for being with us tonight. You have a great night.
Bye.
So to send you off with these memories, making you think back over the day of how you spent some magical time with your family, and you've slowed down, and you've had this great day, and you've done some really cool things. It puts that positive mindset on your day, and it's just like I don't know, when you close a book that you like and it's the end. And that's the story. That's the story of the day. And that's missing.
So Jeff, Disney Dad, I'm Disney Dad, Garrett's Disney Dad, Strange Magic, I guess is going to be our theme song. I don't know. That might be our theme song. I don't know.
It might be.
We got to have a Disney Dad's trip, guys. We got to plan
Y'all have to do a Disney Dad's vlog.
We're going to have.
And don't
we
forget
could do a
to bring
Disney
your
Dad's
daughters.
vlog.
Yeah,
we
y'all
could do a Disney Dad.
Dad's
I think
vlog.
we ought to do a Disney Dad's thing, y'all. We need to get together and do that.
Y'all can tell stories about being Disney Dads.
There you go. Why it's great to be a Disney dad. As a matter of fact, it was so funny because meeting James with deep in the heart of Disney, I told him about he saw my cap, and he says, I'm a Disney dad too. And I said, well, we can make you an honorary member of our Disney dad group. And he said, I'd love to be. So that was pretty cool. All right. Well, I think that's about it.
Yep,
I think that's our trip analysis. It's only taken us almost 2 hours to get through it. But hey, there
4
you go.
parks in 2 hours. I think we did well.
Well, we want to thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight, and we'll be back on Thursday night, and we'll do some trivia and some news and things like that, things that are going on, and we'll show a little bit of our merchandise, not all of it, but a little bit of our merchandise purchases for you. And don't forget to click the like button if you haven't already, and share out the stream. We'd love to have you guys do that. And if you haven't subscribed to Mickey Sightings, please do, which I think everybody in here is. So it's great having our family in here.
Okay, we have it in writing. Garrett says, if you both come to Disneyland, I will go on camera for a little bit.
Oh,
See that?
Oh,
see that? Screenshot that.
She screenshot it. You're held to it, Garrett.
She didn't.
As I see, there's been Disney World ads on the kids' video YouTube whenever I put them on for my daughter, and I'm just like, false advertising. Yeah, that's one of the things too.
Yes.
When we were there, and actually right before we left, the ad hold still talks about dining plans and park hopping and all these different after hours and signing up for Mickey's Not So Scary. And we told one of the cast members, we told her, said, y'all really need to change that ad hold. She said, I will make sure a manager hears about that. I said, yeah, because virtually everything on that ad hold is completely wrong.
It's not right now.
And even the videos, that they're showing in the resort, it's almost like they need to show something else, because none of that
it's not there.
it is definitely Disney-like.
One of the things that I'd forgotten about was that shopping. They're only allowing a certain number of people.
That's Daisy, our dog, moving the camera, y'all.
Yeah.
We have a furry celebrity.
I promise there wasn't a sudden shift in the planet.
They're only allowing certain numbers of people in the shop.
And
so, especially at the end of the night, as people are exiting, you're standing in a physically distanced queue line to go and look in the shop.
Yeah.
So, there's some not so magical things happening, but all in all, it's still Disney.
It's still Disney.
It is still home. So,
thank y'all so much.
we
Y'all have an
appreciate y'all
awesome
being here.
night, and we will talk about some more news on Thursday, and we'll do a little bit of trivia. Who knows what we may come up with
There's no
for
telling.
Thursday night. But never lose sight of this one thing, y'all. We love you, and we appreciate you so much. You're our extended family all around the country.
Y'all stay safe.
Y'all stay safe.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Wear your face mask. Practice social distancing. Be smart, and we'll all make it through this together.
And be safe.
And be
Because
safe.
we're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
That's all I know of it.
Together we are.
You're a star, and we share it.
All
This together.
All
right. Remember, it was all started by a mouse. And we'll see you real soon.